Is my camera okay?
Yep.
It looks okay. I better not touch it.
And here we go. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. If you can hear us, please type llama in the chat. That way I know that we are broadcasting live. But until I hear some or I see some llamas pop in the chat, my name is Noelia and I will be your host for today's demo. And I have with me Alvin, who is awesome, and I am very excited for this demo. I hope you are too. Oh, yay! Have some llamas. Hi, Sarah from Maryland. She is very excited to see some action. Um, that means we are officially live. I see more llamas from Esther, Simone, and more people. Yay! Thanks all for joining us. If you are a returning llama customer, you know the role. But just in case, if you are new, if you have any questions, please type them in the chat because today is really your opportunity to pick at Alvin's brain and start to learn more about his art making process. If you would kindly type your question first question in all caps, followed by your question typed normally. That just helps me make sure I'm not missing any questions in the chat. And we will answer today as many questions as we can. Some of them will be saved for a Q&A at the end, and others, if they are relevant to what Alvin is doing, I'll be asking them then at the moment. Remember that this is a live demonstration, so it's not necessarily a step-by-step tutorial, but we will be having a mini workshop that Alvin will be teaching in the next few weeks. So I'll be dropping the link for that in the chat, so stay tuned for it. And without further ado, Alvin, I'll let you introduce yourself and maybe show us a little bit of your artwork.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me on this live demo. First of all, I would like to thank Etchr and also my beautiful host, Noelia, for helping me for this live demo. I'm kind of nervous. This is my first live demo ever. I have not done a live demo, but I've done a lot of live drawing with my friends. If a lot of people were following me on Instagram, I have done drawing a lot since the first lockdown, the first pandemic that that everybody went throughout the whole world. But it's sad to say, and also happy to say that this pandemic has really helped me to pick up a new hobby, I can say. People would like to say like urban sketching.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been drawing a lot urban sketching, things that around me, things that I see around me, around my house, beautiful places, virtually, and drawing from pictures with my friends all around the world. And I come across a new medium that I really, really like, which I'm going to show you on a live demo today using a red Polychromos pencil, color pencil. So thanks everyone for joining. Before that, I like to show you some of my work, right?
That would be amazing.
I start drawing on Sketchbook, the very first lockdown. I've not drawn on Sketchbook ever. I've been drawing for so many years. I draw a lot of portraits for many years, for like more than 10 years. But drawing on Sketchbook, drawing urban sketching, I started just a year ago, and I started with Etchr Sketchbook, which I found a year ago, and I found it very, very beautiful. I like the texture of the paper and the book on the canvas cover. Okay, I started, this is something from July 2020, but
oh wow.
I draw all kind of stuff, starting from pen. I got inspired by so many urban sketches from around the world. I draw cars, and you can see the live with I have with all the amazing artists from around the world. Some watercolors, buildings.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, portrait of myself. Yep, I just flipped through. There's so many here. Animals, pencil drawing, charcoal pencil, fountain pen.
Wow.
Hat,
Simone said
buildings in Porto. Yep, so many here. Even trying out some color pencil. I like a lot of challenges and tend to go from medium to medium, but I don't really stick to one medium. So I kind of like explore many medium. As I'm still new to urban sketching, I still like finding my favorite ways of doing it. This is, as you can see, this in on pen and watercolor, and this pen on watercolor. Yeah, I'm drawing food as well. Try to learn how to draw food. Some mangosteen, some fruits. Okay, and coming to the live demo today, using just 2 primary colors, or basically like 2.5 colors. I'm using a neutral tint and also a red cadmium color, and probably a touch of orange, or probably it can be any orange, like cadmium orange or any other orange. So this is an example that I'm using a red Polychromos outline and going down with colors, 2 primary colors, which is the red and the neutral tint. This is a scene in a wet market in Hong Kong, and here is a scene in Kolkata, India, using a neutral tint and also some red and a bit of orange somewhere around here.
It looks lovely.
And yeah, even like boots like this. It just this is just like a neutral tint and the red pencil. And here's another one.
Awesome.
This is people living in New York City. This is a very iconic place, iconic bookstore, one of the oldest bookstore in the world, Strand bookstore, using very typically 2 colors, neutral tint and also red, and start off with red pencil outline on the whole drawing. And also very quickly, I also did try on doing some figure and portraits using these 2 primary colors as well, with a red pencil and a bit of neutral tint on right on the top.
Yeah.
By the way, this Picasso.
Yeah. I was wondering if that was him.
Yeah. Also, yeah, and also some drawing like this. All this what I'm showing right now is the red color pencil and red and also some orange. There's a group of fishermen in Porto as well. Yep. This is a place in Marrakesh. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. I show you the last one. Probably this is
Beautiful.
This is the Del Monico restaurant, one of the oldest restaurant in New York City. A very iconic place. If anyone who have watched John Wick this is his safe place, the movie. Okay, and
Frida.
yeah. Frida. Yeah, Frida, yeah, I'm trying drawing Frida as well. So coming to what we're going to do today.
Awesome.
For the this is something that I've tested out. Is just some random reference that I pick up from Pinterest. Is from a photo of a red barn. So today this is what I'm going to do. Okay,
I'm ready. And I'm sure people in the chat are excited too. By the way, several people have commented on your paintings. Simone said, Alvin's work is so cool. And Esther said, amazing paintings.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining.
And if you want to follow along today, we do have a reference image in the description of this video. But Alvin, I'll just let you get started.
Cool. Okay. I think most of you will have the reference on the link. This is the reference that I'm going to be drawing and show you earlier what I've tested out. So I have done a very quick light pencil drawing. Oops, spinning my hand over here. It's okay. So we have a very short time. I'm going to do a very, very quick demo. We'll start off with, normally for urban sketching, sometimes I use a light pencil drawing first for complicated buildings or things that I'm drawing. But if things that will be less complicated, I'll go straight into pen or my red pencil. So let's get going. So as this, I have drawn a very light pencil. I will start off with the outline with a red Polychromos pencil. You can use, people might ask why I use red and why I use neutral theme. It's just a preference that I like. I like neutral theme color. That's my so-called my very favorite color at this moment. And you can use pencil, you can use pen, Fude pen, micron pen, or any other color pencil. You can use blue, yellow, orange, or purple. But red is my favorite color, so I choose the red. Okay.
Awesome.
I start drawing the barn first.
Is there any way, or how do you decide what sections of the barn you start laying out first?
Normally for drawing like this, it's quite straightforward. There's not so much of perspective going here, but I'm very, very bad at perspective. I always tell everyone this because perspective drawing, there's so many good artists who do urban sketching, normally have a background in architecture. They're architects themselves. They are so good at perspective, but I'm not here to teach you perspective. But I'm normally, for drawing like this, I always draw from the top to the bottom. And likewise, I'm also like a reverse. If I'm tattooing, I'm a full-time tattoo artist. If some of you may know, when you tattoo, I tattoo from the bottom to the top. So drawing, I always have the top to the bottom, or from the left to the right, or right to the left. Normally, I'll go from, since I'm a right-handed, I will draw from the left to the right, so that the drawing won't get smeared under my hand. Normally, when I draw, I always have a paper that is resting right below here, but for today I am drawing very fast, so I try to like not to touch the paper so often, so that you get smear.
So I'm guessing you also make shapes for whatever stands out.
Yes. As I said, this is a very straightforward drawing. It's just you could see it's just a like probably a rectangular box of the red barn. So for people who going to sign up for my workshop, it's going to be a tougher one that I've chosen to do on my mini workshop. So that will involve more perspective and more elements on the drawing.
But there's also more time in the mini workshop, so I guess it allows you to be able to do something a little more complicated.
Right. Yep. So okay, I will show you the reference for the mini workshop that I've chosen in a short while.
Yeah.
Get it going first. So you can see I'm drawing very loose. I'm not having so much of details. I think for urban sketching, what I've learned for the past 18 months or so, from so many great urban sketches around the world, my friends, and that I've gone live with on Instagram, I've learned so much from them. It's like there's so many different ways of drawing. It depends how you want to draw a building, how you want to draw certain things. Some people would like to have all the details they see. They count every single windows. They make sure they draw every single windows, everything perfect. But for me, I used to do that from the beginning, but I kind of felt it's not necessary when you come to drawing urban sketching. Urban sketching is more like something that you're drawing for to keep a memory that you travel. So it had to be quick and fast for you to draw and document what you see. So it's more like a suggestion that of what you see and what you want to capture is not something that we are not drawing something that is hyper realistic or so. Okay.
We have a great question that just came in the chat. They said, when drawing from reference photo, do you make sure the proportions are perfect? For example, using your pencil to measure, or do you just use your eye and make guesses?
Great questions. Okay, for me, I have trained in such a way. I've been drawing for like close to professionally trained and drawn for almost like 30 years now. From the very beginning, of course, when I was taught, you have to train with draw with measurements. You can measure with the pencil, or with the rules of third and grid lines and so on. But I have drawn for so long, through so many of practice. I have used my eyes as an observation to get everything as close as possible. So that comes with a lot of practice and a lot of drawing over the years.
Right.
Yeah.
So
now,
by this point, because you've been drawing for so long, your eye is basically trained to be able to replicate proportions without the need to measure.
yes, that's right.
Cool. Do you have, or do you find any visual cues or visual aspects within the reference to be able to add other details?
It depends what I want, what I find interesting. Like, for example, this is I'm drawing on the foreground. This is some daffodils on right in front of the red barn. I wouldn't want to draw. There's so many different abstract shapes of the daffodils from the photograph, and the stalks coming down. But from what I'm drawing here, is just like an illustration, or more like a suggestion of there is some daffodils right in front the red barn, but it's not necessary to be exactly the same shape. So whatever I'm drawing is not considered to be perfect, but at the end result, you would know what is it, and it looks great.
Yeah, it definitely looks great.
Thank you. So I'm kind of like, I'm still trying to draw while I talk.
Yeah, I bet it's a challenge to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of easy to just chit chat and with your friends while you're doing an IG live and drawing for fun, and but doing a live demo in front of a proper audience is kind of like nerve-wracking for me. So
Well, you're doing great.
I hope so.
If you think of us kind of like your friends, we are a little llama family here, and we're here to support and learn from you.
Thank you everyone for joining. Okay.
The person who asked about the proportions, they just commented on the chat. They said, thank you for answering, and as a beginner to drawing with an interest in urban sketching, they say they will force themselves to measure and use proportions in their drawings.
Yeah. I mean, of course, everybody start drawing, start from somewhere, even though you are not a trained artist or someone that went to an art school and have a proper training. You just pick up a drawing, pick up pencil, and you just love drawing and love sketching. It's great to start somewhere, or if you want to learn how to sketch, there's so many urban sketches who came up with books on perspective on how to draw people and how to draw buildings. So I would like to emphasize this, my first demo, to everyone that is watching right now, I'm more like want to not to, yes, you could really hopefully can pick up something, one or two things, tips for me from this live demo or my future workshop or my class in the future. But what I really want to emphasize on saying that every one of us is an artist inside us. I believe everyone in this world can draw. It's just no matter how good you are or not good you are, but you still can draw. And drawing and painting is so subjective. It might look very nice and amazing, beautiful painting to someone, and it might not. It might look horrible to another artist. So it's very, very subjective. So I believe everyone can paint, can draw, and I hopefully after this live demo, someone would be inspired to pick up something, some tools that is laying around inside your house and start drawing or start painting.
Yeah. And I guess that makes sense because it's important for you to find your own style and what works for you to be able to represent or express yourself through artwork.
That's right. Yep. Very, very right. Yeah. Okay, I have two brushes here. I mainly probably have a few brushes that I want to use for this. I'm going to try to stick with two brushes. Mainly one for the neutral tint and one for the red color.
Okay.
So I will start off with the darker tone, which is the neutral tint first before I'm going to the color.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the neutral tint I'm using here is Daniel Smith. I would like to pull this closer here. There you go. You can see the color here, right?
Yep.
Right here. Okay. On the first box here is in fact this all throughout beginning of this 4 boxes here, 4 pan here. There's 2 full pans and 2 half pan. This one that I'm mixing here is from Daniel Smith. And the second one that I'm not using today is a neutral tint and also from Winsor Newton. And the last 2 half pan is from Holbein. So when I started to like this color so much, I bought 3 different brands to try out. So I realized that Daniel Smith has the darkest tone of neutral tint, followed by the Winsor Newton that is in between the Holbein and Daniel Smith. The Holbein have the lightest, so how far has we went?
So do you start adding the neutral tint in the dark areas first where the shadows would be?
Yes.
And you're using the paint pretty thick right now, right?
Yes, pretty thick. I will just like do all the dark values first. After that, I will put more water to wash it down. One thing about neutral tint, it looks dark right now. It's because it's still wet. I'm going down on like this wet on dry technique. But when you can see in a short while, in a 5-10 minutes, whatever the dark values up here on right on the roof, when it's dry up, it become faded and become lighter. If you, I might want to go back again on the second round.
Okay. And if someone doesn't have neutral tint, what do you think would be a good replacement for it?
It could be a dark brown, anything that is probably an ultramarine blue, if you like. It could be any other colors, but it depends on your preference. Yeah, you can use a dark sepia, dark brown, or ultramarine, or even a dark purple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. How much time do we still have?
We have another 30 minutes to go.
Okay.
Andrea in the chat is asking, do you use neutral tint instead of Payne's gray, or do you use both?
No, I don't use Payne's gray. I have Payne's gray on my palette, but you can use Payne's gray as well. Yeah, that's a good choice. Yeah.
Ramir, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name, but Ramir in the chat is saying maybe brown and Persian blue could work too.
Right.
Simone is mentioning maybe ultramarine and burnt sienna could work, and I can see that mixture.
Yeah.
And someone else is saying pearline green with a deep red could be amazing.
Yeah, it can be a very a lot of combination of two colors. Just pick your two favorite colors that you like, and you can experiment them till you find your two favorite two-tone color for a drawing, for a sketch, for a urban sketch, like what I'm doing right now. But I found the red has been always my favorite color since a long time ago, and neutral tint is a color that I found for all my darker values and my darker tone. So I put them together, and I've done many drawings right now, and I found it's beautiful. So I'm sticking to it right now. So you can always find your two favorite colors and experiment them.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start washing down the roof.
And you've watered down the paint now, right?
Right. And I kind of like choose all kind of technique. Probably only one technique that I don't use. I don't use the technique wet on wet. I kind of use like always wet on dry. And you could see the effect right here is I kind of like dry my brush a little bit and have that dry brush effect on the roof of the bun.
Mm-hmm. Some Pierre in the chat just asked, what kind of brush are you using?
Oh, good question. I'm using Etchr.
That's
That
size 10.
Yeah, this is a size 10, and I'm going to use the red one, size 12.
Okay.
For the red one. Yep. Thank you, Etchr, for sending me a set of Etchr brushes.
Yeah, no problem. I hope you're enjoying them.
Yes, it's pretty amazing. Okay, what should I go next? Okay, let's go back to, while waiting for the rest to dry it up, because I wouldn't go further. I will go back to the neutral tint after applying the red bun, the red color. Let's go to the flowers.
Mm-hmm. And again, you're hitting everything that would be in shadow, right?
Exactly. So I always want to see the thing that I'm drawing to pops out first.
And when you're applying that, Helen is asking, do you cover the red pencil outline with the paint?
Yep. It's just randomly covering your pencil outline, but when it's finished, you still can see some that is not covered, and that's the beauty of it. And I will show you when I finish with the watercolor painting, and I will still come back with my red pencil to sketch a little bit more to make it more obvious that I'm using a red pencil, that I will show you towards the end. Yeah, you can see I kind of like painting very, very, very loosely. I'm not painting like realistically. I just want to convey the message that there is some flowers. It might not look like the daffodils that you see in a photograph, but it still look like a bit of what is it. Yeah.
It still reads like a flower and kind of like a daffodil because you have the little bright circles in the middle.
Yeah. That will be yeah, I kind of like twitch the color a bit, since I'm using a two-tone color, a very, very limited color. Everything that I draw, I kind of like switch the color or change the color what I'm seeing and what I'm drawing. Like the daffodils that you see here is white daffodils with kind of like we call that a yellow inside the flower, but I kind of like change it to red dots instead of yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see I kind of like, I have a very, very sweaty hands. Excuse me. That's why you could see I kind of like dirty my, smudge a little bit of the painting that I'm drawing here.
Well, it's not too noticeable in the camera, so we don't know.
Okay.
I love that. Why do you knock the paintbrush against your finger instead of flicking it?
You could flick it. Like you could just like, flick it like this. But for me, I kind of like, you tend to have a small, specifically spot that you want your drops of water to land. So you tend to like this spot here, you want it to like.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So if you flick just without hitting your finger, your drops or your dots could just be anywhere. But it could be vice versa. I mean, I would try. I was going to flick some red dots without using my finger. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. So it's really for direction.
Yeah. Let's go to how many more minutes do we have?
We still have another almost 20 minutes.
Okay.
And Sarah,
we have gone 40 minutes right now.
Yep. Sarah, by the way, says in the chat that watching you draw and paint is mesmerizing and that she would sign up for whatever you paint in your class.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so now the neutral tint has go up. I'm trying to paint the red band right now.
How are you deciding where to add the red and what to leave white?
Okay, it's kind of like if you can see on the reference here, the red band this is very worn down, very old band, which that's the wood like running down. There's a piece of wood running down. So that's when you paint. You could just paint like this. Not exactly following exactly how many pieces of wood from the band, but it's just like a suggestion that to show that is this made out of this band is made out of wood. Now you can see the red band is it's very bright red. I'm going to tone it down with a neutral tint on the second layer to make it more rustic looking. After this.
So your brush strokes also help give it texture?
Yep. You can see here, right, I did here is just a very quick dry brush. So you can see, just let like things like this, the water to be run everywhere. So when it dry up, it looks more natural.
There go the red dots to indicate they're daffodils.
Yes. Let's see how this goes.
Oh, the flicking.
Just a little bit of touch of orange here.
Did you choose that to help brighten it up?
A little bit, not so dull, but I use very, very little. Just a hint of orange somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I choose it to be on the ground. And
So you're going in with the neutral tint again now that the rest of the, or the initial layer of neutral tint has dried?
yes, I kind of like miss out a little bit wash on the door
Mm-hmm.
earlier on. And since the red is pretty dry and the roof is pretty dry, I can go back to the roof to add in more details to it.
Awesome. While Alvin continues to add more details with the neutral tint, I just want to take this time to remind you that if you want to sign up for his mini workshop coming up, where I believe he'll be doing he'll be explaining more on a step-by-step process how to paint a Malaysian scene. Make sure you sign up because we do have a limited seating. So I'll drop that link in the chat, and I will also be dropping the link to our feedback survey because we really do care about what you think and bringing you content that you enjoy. So if you could fill it out, it takes about 30 seconds or less. We really appreciate it and truly take a look at every submission that we get with feedback.
Thank you. Is there any questions?
Not so far. That was the other thing I was going to remind our viewers of is if you really have questions, this is the time to pick at Alvin's brain. So if you type them in the chat, I'll be asking them. And I've been saving one because I didn't want to interrupt your flow, but Buta Crafts asks, why do you choose a Polychromos and not a watercolor pencil?
Good question. You can use a watercolor pencil because watercolor pencils tend to, I'm planning to paint watercolor on it, but if you use a watercolor pencil, you tend to have, when you use that and then when you paint it over it, it's going to be like wash off like the watercolor that you're going to put on later. So the lines that you drawn with the watercolor pencil is not going to be so obvious. So, but you can use that watercolor pencil as well. I mean, there is an artist that I just came across, Irena Spector. I think she did the live and mini workshop with Etchr as well. I saw her amazing work using wet on wet technique, splashing watercolor and then drawing with just different color pencils as an outline. Yeah, so you can use watercolor pencils. There's no wrong or right to it, but I just happened to come across this Polychromo pencil, which I'm not just using for drawing urban sketching. I'm also drawing with things that I like to draw. My love for drawing portraits. I could show you quickly that for those who first time who doesn't know what I've been doing for many years, there's something like this, using the same pencil I did for this drawing. I also use the same Polychromo pencil for drawing portraits like this.
Those are beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. So so I find that using this pencil is very smooth. I can go very smooth and gentle, and of course the Etchr sketchbook is amazing. I really love the paper, and yep.
So the reason why you use it in your urban sketching is because it will not dissolve with the water. You want the lines to be there and to stay there.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Polychromo pencils is kind of like oil based, if I'm not wrong. So it really like you can, as you can see here, is whatever watercolor that is overlap over it, but you still could see the lines. So I'm going into adding more details right now.
And so we have about 10 minutes left.
Cool. That just give me just enough time to wrap this up.
Awesome. Do you always go in with the pencil at the end?
Yep. I always go in with this color pencil towards the end to in the beginning I would not draw so detailed, but towards the end when the color is in and it's dry up, or even it's not dry up, like for example, like here, this spot here, it's still wet, it's still a puddle of red color, but it's kind of like, you could just use this pencil and just go over it and bring the red down like this to make it some cool things happening over here. But it's just it's just how you draw and how you see things and how you want your painting or your drawing to be. There's no right or wrong for doing this or that, or not doing this and not doing that, but it's just how you want your painting and how much have you drawn from your experience, and everything that I doing right now is all from a lot of practice. So people out there, you just need to keep drawing and practice and don't give up.
Mm-hmm. Those are some great tips. Thank you.
The very last, some outline of the clouds.
Yeah.
I tend to skip painting the sky. I'm sorry, I hate drawing. Painting the sky. I've like tend to like screw up my drawing or my painting when I paint the sky. So to skip that, I just do some outlines.
And it still looks like clouds and like a sky behind there.
Yeah, it's just like, a bit, comical, but yet there is some contemporary watercolor in front.
Yeah.
And two lucky birds to be flying. Okay. Almost done.
It looks great so far. It looked great a while back ago.
Thank you. So I hope that people have watching have enjoyed this. I kind of I said earlier on to Noella, this is my very, very first earliest drawing or painting I ever done in my life. Waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I still have to find my voice.
It's a great way to start the morning, though, and start your day with some artwork. Whoa!
Let's do some comparison.
That looks really cool. Wow.
Go. Yep. It looks similar, but this the one that I tested, it took me probably almost the same time. Yeah, it took me like 45 minutes, an hour. I was just finding where to add on, and this one I do it a live demo, so I'll do it very quick. So comparing back is, yep, it's almost there. For those who would like to join me on my couple of weeks from now, my mini workshop, this is what I have picked up.
Awesome.
It's a much more complicated reference that I pick up as a reference from an old town in Malaysia. There's a lot of these kind of old shop houses that this is a shot of evening where people in this town is gathering for sitting down as a family, as you could see right in front, for dinner. There's a lot of light scenes. There's a lot of like red. Probably I'm going to use like an extra color, which neutral tint, red, and orange, of course, and yellow. And I'm not going to paint the sky.
Awesome. I'm excited for it. I am very excited for it, and I just dropped the link for it in our chat, and I'm going to drop the link to our feedback survey one more time. But I have another question for you from the chat so that we can wrap up with that. Simone is asking, which one of your two sketches do you prefer?
Good question. I like both. I kind of yeah, I like both. It's like this one is much more controlled, and I'm drawing it at my own free time and experimenting, and a lot of things going on my head while doing this to prepare this for the live demo sample. But this one is so spontaneous, and going live to do this as it looks more lively to me. So
yeah, I can see that. Awesome. I like them both. They both have their own different little personality within them.
Thank you.
Last question for today.
Okay.
What is the name or number of Polychromos red pencil that you are using today?
Good question. This is Polychromo. Let me see. There is a number here. Yeah. Probably on the screen. I'll just write it down on a paper here. It's
Faber.
It's a Faber Castell deep red 223.
Awesome. Deep red 223. And what's your Instagram handle since you're writing stuff down?
Okay, my Instagram handle is Alvin.
Awesome. And I shared that in the chat too, so that you can go check out Alvin's Instagram. And if you followed along, or if you choose to watch this video later and paint your own barn or sketch your own barn with daffodils, please feel free to share it with us on social media. Tag us with Etchr Studio. You can tag us or use the hashtag Etchr Studio and tag Alvin in it so that he can see it too.
Yes. Yep. Just send me a DM and hashtag just tag my name on Art of Alvin. I would love to see all the different ways of you guys have painted this earlier or later on. So we'd love to see your different variation. I hope everyone have enjoyed the live demo, and thanks again, Nolia.
You're welcome, and thank you, Alvin, and thank you all of our Llama family and everyone else who joined us today. Don't forget to subscribe, fill out the feedback survey so that we can continue to bring content that you enjoy, and sign up for Alvin's mini workshop, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yes, thank you. Stay safe, everyone.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.